Think I might be having some audio issues when I play it in full screen mode, so I'll just try to is I'm not sure why I'm having some audio issues. I'll just try it again. I should turn GIT on just in case that's the problem. Try that again. Yeah, I think that's better. Hopefully the sound mix is okay. Let me know if I need to turn down the volume of the game. Hi Thermal Monkey, welcome to the chat. I hope the audio mix is okay. I hope I'm coming through alright. Let me know if I need to turn down the volume of the game. Hello Ridigic, welcome. Yeah, it's so this is something MsMalik has been working on for a little while now, and it is every time I try it out, it you know, feels more fluid. It yeah, it feels like the polish is it's getting very close to being finished. So this is an open source project. I just grabbed the latest from Git and made a couple of tweaks to you know, so it wasn't running in like a debug mode. And yeah, it is working really well. It certainly feels better than the the versions of Street Fighter I've played in the past. Well, the versions of the original Street Fighter. Certainly a lot better than the notorious Amiga version, or the original Amiga version. This is I think Amiga owners would have been a lot happier with this one than what they got. If I didn't know the very basic moves, I wouldn't be any good at this. Probably wouldn't have gotten this far. A flawless victory. I know it's not the right parlance to Street Fighter, but I'll go with it. Is my voice coming through okay? Nobody's sort of confirmed whether they can actually hear me or not, so I'm starting to get a bit paranoid. I'm gonna check, mic should be coming through okay. Feral Monkey says, hi Rock, any idea why WinUE would fail to run a A1200 config when doing the run in WinUE and Scorpion? Seems I can change to A600 and A4000 fine and it runs. I don't know. Possibly there's some very strange bug with the engine that's you know, not running it on that setup. Do you have all the ROMs for A1200? Hi Victor Funk, welcome to the chat. Welcome to the stream. It looks like your first time here, or first time chatting, at least. Yeah, I am really impressed with this. It seems to do everything you would expect from a you know, a port of this game. Oh, that's a big guy. Victor Funk's long-time listener, first-time caller. Oh, fair enough. I hope you find the streams entertaining and informative. This stream should be quite a special one because I'm going to try and create a version of Tetris with the brand new system added to Scorpion for drawing grids on panels. It's kind of funny how this game presents the two kinds of British people as, you know, being either punks or, you know, refined. Like, I assume this guy was some sort of butler. Okay, so I've beaten England. And those are the last two English characters in the series until, I believe until they added Cammy to the Super Street Fighter roster. So am I on to Thailand, or... Okay, if I can, from one can see as well, I got 1.2, 1.3, 2, 3, 3.1 and 4, and it seemed to happen one day using 24.1, which still happens in 2025. Strange one. If it's something, if it's a fairly consistent break, I can look at it. Like, you know, if you could send me a demo of your game, I could, you know, fire it up and see if I have any problems at my end with a 1200. But I don't tend to do any maintenance on 2025 because that's fairly old now. If it's still a problem in 2026, I can patch 2026. 2025, I probably, well, unless it's something I can easily patch into it, I may just leave the fix for 2026. It may already be something that is fixed in 2026, but yeah, but yeah, do always feel free to send through a demo of, or, you know, copy of your project, and I'll see if I can work out what the root cause is. Oh yeah, on to Thailand. I don't know he's Thai, but he looks like William Defoe. So this was as far as I got in the Commodore 64 version. They didn't have Sagat in the Commodore 64 version for some reason, or the version I had. I guess they just didn't have enough floppy space or enough time, but I was never able to beat this guy anyway. So I only saw the ending of Street Fighter 1 on Commodore 64, because my mate was able to beat him. Well, that felt a bit cheap, but I got him. So now we're on to Sagat, I guess. I'll have to see if I can do the Shoryuken on him, because I know it's canon that... Or was canon, I don't know if it still is, that he got the... got a scar from Shoryuken. Oh, he's big. Is he that big in the other games? Whoa! Okay, I think I'm gonna have to play it more cheaply. Jesus, that tiger knee. Am I out? Can I do continues, or is that... Okay, I can do continues. I don't know how many continues I have. Whoa! Jesus. Okay, hopefully I'm not stuck on this guy for too long. Jesus. 3 knees to the face and I'm out. Hopefully I've got infinite continues, but I guess we'll see. Okay, that was close. Okay, I think I have to practice blocking against the tiger knee. I think as long as I'm standing up and blocking, it should be fine, but I think if I duck, I can't block against it. Oh. Got it. Okay, I think I've won. Is that 2 rounds? Yep. Okay, is there an end cutscene or something like that? I'm the strongest Street Fighter in the world. Okay, I think it stops there. Yeah. Well, as I mentioned, I was really impressed with how that one is turning out. Now, oh yeah, as I mentioned, so this is an open source project. You can find it on GitHub. So if you wanted to use it for, you know, sort of look at how it works, maybe use it for, as a basis for your own project, it would be a pretty decent way to start. But yeah, so I started working on a Tetris game yesterday, and I'm gonna start it from scratch. So I'm gonna Tetris, create a brand new project. I'm gonna work on it with the intent that it's cross-platform. I usually start with Amiga OCS as a setup. I'm gonna put it to 16 color mode. Fortunately, there was some very nice art from Open Game Art. You can usually rely on Open Game Art to find nice art to work from. So that gives us, well, we've got a palette there. So I'll just copy and paste that. I go decrease to 256 color, so that way it you know, it doesn't make it a 16 color PNG. That looks good, I think. Let's Sculptress. There we go. So we've got those nice colors. We're going to do something a bit different with this one. We're not actually going to create any maps. We don't need a map. We can do this entirely in a game panel. Usually you would do everything in a like a game map with panels just for like UI elements. But this one, you know, because it's turn-based, because we don't need any sort of special actors or anything on screen, we will do it just as a uh, as a as a turn-based game, as a as a panel, um, rather than a full-blown tile set map. But actually, one thing, so we'll actually need a we'll actually need a panel to put it on. So I'm going to make it. Might as well make it 256. It doesn't need to be like, fully 320 wide. Let's go with 224, which is sort of the minimum height. Hi, Reva Bay. Welcome. Let's paste that there, and then we've got some edge pieces. Actually, before I go any further, so Tetris, I think, is 10 wide by 20 down, and so 20, 60. So should be about. I'll try to put it closer to. Let's put it right in the middle. I'll just get that to for alignment. And we'll need to change these grid settings so I can. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Right, I say 10, so 3, 4, 5. 80, yep, and so it should be 80 by 160. Okay, that makes our Hey Dockster, welcome to chat. Yes, workshop is Tetris. So yeah, I did start working on like a very, very rough thing for full wait, is that the right way around? Yeah, white is in the middle. Yeah, so I did start working on something very, very rough for the Discord server. Just to basically just to test that it was working, that the new panel feature was working. Oh, we have pain to. Oh, sorry, I thought PaintShop Pro crashed there for a second. Why don't I just grab all of that? Have I got Snap to Grid on? Yep. Oops. Yeah, so I'll try not to spend too much time on this. Just, is not really learning anything from just drawing the map, drawing the panel. But this won't take too long. So I don't exactly know how far we'll get through it. I don't know if I'll get so far. Well, I probably won't do it so that it gets faster. I just sort of want to get the basic mechanics of dropping the they're called tetronomers. Just get the basic mechanics of dropping the pieces, get that all working, and then see if we can get it so that it has the mechanic of like collapsing that, you know, when you get the whole block, a set of blocks to fit. Okay, so that's our base. Let's make a new panel folder. I'll call it game base. Add our panel. We'll go main middle panel. And let's call it game base. Make it match the image. Let's grab that image. There we go. Now we're going to need a array. I'll call it game array. Why not? Let's change that from to array. It has to be a byte array, and it would have to have 200 pieces because 10 times 20 is 200. And let's add our... Oh, so yep, this is our new feature, grid. So it draws a grid of images, requires a byte array. Let's set the game array. And I think I said, yeah, so it's 10 columns, 20 rows. I have to actually... I have to give it a... give it these blocks. So let's paste that as a new image. Call this blocks, or game blocks. So I set our image, and I'll go game blocks and divisions. I think I've got, yeah, I've got 7 of them there because that makes sense because there's 7 kinds of piece. Oh yeah, so yeah, Doc. So you did mention this should be like you should be able to type in there. I started working on it, but I didn't get around to finishing it, so I really need to get onto that. But anyway, so we've got 10 columns, 20 rows. It's aligned where it should be. Let's load that panel. But before that loads, I just want to variable array. I just want to test that we can set it to that blue color. So that should be the first one. So if I go set it to 1. Oh, what have I done here? Oh, I haven't set my counter divisions, so that's what it got confused about. So we've got 7 divisions. Now, because this is a bleeding edge feature, hopefully we don't run into too many issues. But that seems to work as expected. You know, I wanted it to fill up every block with, you know, the first one, which it has done. I am just going to stop the display capture for just a second. So I always forget to open Visual Studio just to make sure it's not like, you know, running a like running the source code of someone's Scorpion project that that doesn't need to be on the stream. Okay, so that should be back again. So we've got Sculptress here, and we're going to use Dockster's Visual Studio Code plugin. Let's move our startup code block 2 to there. Yep, we do. We'll move that there. And this will just make it a bit easier to work on. Before I forget, I'm gonna change the frame rate to 25. No, we don't need to set that. We do need a level handler. Now, I've never actually made a Tetris clone before, so how I work on it is not guaranteed to be the best way to do it, but I'll use my memories of the game the best I can. Let's go. So we obviously need some variables for the player X and Y, so I'm going to go variable. It has to be the right extension. Go variable, I'll go word, and I'll go player X. Technically this can be a byte, but I'll go with word. I tend to go with word everywhere. That might get confused with the built-in Scorpion variables for actors and things. I'm just going to work like that. Just going to call it PX, PY. And then, so first thing we need to do on the level update is delete the last position. So if I go set, I'm just gonna pretend we just got the the square blocks. So I go py times 10 plus px. Equals 1. So I'll put that in brackets. Oh, actually, sorry. Draw at the new position. So I'll draw it at the new position to start with, and then I'll write some code to delete it at the old position. And the reason why we're multiplying by 10 is because 10 rows across. So each Y position is 10 units down. Hopefully that all makes sense. Oh, we don't need to do +1 there. Actually, what am I doing? So I should have... I think that looks alright. So if we run it now... Well, Okay, yeah, I'm gonna need to. I am gonna need to go to level handler. Then I'm gonna need to actually refresh. What is? Oh, wait one. So it's gonna go wait for 1 frame, and then go to level. Repeat the code. You just check this is gonna work. Oops. Line 9. What did I do here that was confusing it? These should work, the complex expressions. Part of it doesn't it like? Let's take those out completely. If there's some sort of bug with the expression engine, I can work around it. Not too hard to work around it. Okay, so what is the problem here? So maybe it doesn't like multiple for some reason it's struggling with multiple brackets, but we don't actually need brackets for the next. We don't actually need brackets around there. Should just work. Okay, let's try to run that. Okay, I did do something there. Oh, I did mess up something here. +1 times 10, so... What? There must be some bugs with the expression engine that I need to look into. Okay, why isn't that drawing at all? What did I do wrong? You just... So that should put it in the next row down. Py plus 1. Okay, that should be working, so I don't know why it's not calculating that as 1 and then multiplying it with 10. Okay, some bugs I have to look into there, but we can simplify this down. So if I go variable word player or draw x 0, or just draw index 0, so I can just go and I should be able to just go set draw index equals px plus, or even actually I don't really need them in brackets because I can just Yeah, these don't need to be in brackets, so maybe that's the bug. Because Scorpion doesn't, strictly speaking, follow bedmass, so it should just follow, okay, add 1 to that, multiply that by 10, then add that. So, I'm hoping it's just bugs with the brackets. Yep, okay, so it's just bugs with the brackets. So that, so we don't really need brackets, it just sort of makes it a little bit more complicated. I'm going to create a going to create a file called sorry, I was just looking up what they're actually called. So so draw o.codeblock. So if I go delete at the old position, go set color 0, because 0 is the delete color. And then I'll go set color 1, go sub, draw O. Do that here as well. Then I can get rid of all that. And that gives us the same function for drawing it at the old position in the new one. And I made a error here that's supposed to be code block 2. There we go. So we set color to 0, go draw O, color 1, draw 1, and see, I'm gonna make I'll make this very slow, and then I'm gonna go set PY. Or P equals PY plus 1. And oh, actually have to, so between that have to do that. Okay, what did I do wrong here? Ah, supposed to be color. Let's try that again. Whoa. Okay, that's not quite right. So it's going down, but it's not deleting the last color. Or it seems to be stretching out. Now, I don't know if that's a bug with the new panel system. Watch it more slowly. Okay, so that's going okay. Oh, it gets to a certain point, and then it doubles in size. So why is it drawing upwards? There's something to do with the Y position. So it looks like every time it moves down, it is... Every time it moves down, it is... I'm missing something, should be obvious there. Let's get rid of the, that one. It looks like there's a problem with the clear, the clearing function. If I go if or set py equals control 1y. Let's do that for x as well. And I should be able to just move it in any direction, and hopefully that will help me work out where the problem is. Have a look, and it is 10 columns, so it should be 10 down. Fairmont Monkey says, thanks for the Pixel Perfect Collision Workshop. Aaron, that's exactly what I'm going to need for one of my projects. Oh, that's great to hear. Yeah, that doesn't seem to be... Oh. Okay, so that's a bug. What on earth did I do to mess it up this badly? Oh, well, I shouldn't be waiting for 100 frames to begin with. Oh, and now that needs to be px plus py plus. Double buffering, probably. Okay, yeah, so we do have a bug here. And the bug is no restore. So that should be restoring. So that looks like it's broken there. Yeah, so I'll need to look into why it's not simply redrawing that whole background, or that would explain why yeah, why every second frame it's messing up. But we can work around that. So let's well, I'm gonna make this whole bit white because I want to overwrite that. Let's go back to here. Let's make that larger, so that will be 80 white. 56. Wait a minute. No, 60. Yeah, it has to be 64. I'm going to make it 8 divisions now. And I'm going to need to set the default as 1. 0 to 199. Yeah. So, yeah, what it's supposed to be doing is it's supposed to be restoring the background image every time it redraws. It's not working for some reason. So I am going to need to investigate that over the weekend. But for now, I'm just going to work around it. So 1 is the delete color, and then 2 will be the blue color. It was always going to be a bit of a risk, you know, experimenting with bleeding each feature, but you know that's giving us what we want. You know, that's working now. So I'm going to make some tweaks here. I'm going to make it 2 frames of gameplay, and I'm going to need to put a allow repositioning frame, and then I can go if py is greater than if control 1 y greater than 0, and then go force drop. Go py um go else if drop timer equals drop timer -1, if drop timer is then 0, I'll go less or equal to 0. Let's go set drop timer equals max drop timer, and I'll have to declare those. I'm going to constant max drop timer equals 10, so we can determine how fast we're dropping, and then we go variable drop timer equals 10. I'll set that to the same value. Oops. py plus 1. Oh, and need to set that to that, and might as well reset that as well, and hopefully we will get a falling yep. So it goes around because we haven't really got any you know, constraints on a position, and yeah, so I can make it fall faster, but you know, we need it to start again, and we'll need some logic for detecting whether it is at the end. So I'm gonna go word new variable. I'm gonna call this draw failed. I'm gonna add a new sort of function here, and I'm gonna call this try draw. So this is gonna have two things. So this is gonna try to draw at a you know, certain position, and if it fails, then it is going to, you know, detect that we've you know, hit the bottom, or we've hit one of the other blocks. Sorry, I was just trying to think through because I didn't really want to have to repeat code for all of the blocks for all of the rotations in both the drawing and the collision detection, but I realize I do need to check collision detection separately. I need to I am gonna need to do an array or a lookup table, something like that. Okay, yes, I'm gonna go array byte block data, and I don't know how big this needs to be, but um, I am going to go so block data. All parts, and then I can go. So I just really want the positions relative to. I'm gonna need X and Y positions. So okay, yeah. So I need to. Okay, so block size. Sorry, it's one of these things where there's 1,000 ways to do it, but just want something relatively elegant. So array. Well, there's only 7 kinds of blocks, but they can be rotated in 4 ways. Not all of them, but you know, some of them. So um, let's go 28. How big each? Actually, no, we don't. I mean, all of the blocks are 4. So okay, so that makes things simple. So if I go block X, and then so I'll just go what? So 4 blocks times 7 kinds times 4 rotations, so 112. Why haven't I got that there? That should be set game array. Right. So I can go block X, or set block X. Excuse me. So that's at the player position. 2, 3. 1, 0, 1. We could repeat that 4 times. And we don't, yeah, we won't really need that anymore. We just need some code for drawing the block kind. So I need to check, okay, so variable word block type. Zero, and then variable word block rotation, 0. And then we're going to draw code block 2. Okay, so I really just need to go set or I equals 0 to 3. Next. Variable word block index equals 0. Have I got? And we'll just go set block index equals block rotation times 4 plus block times 4. Oh, no, actually, for that should be block type times 16. So that gives us the starting point of our yeah, that will give it the starting point in the array. So then we should just be able to go set game array so we also, yeah, we should also calculate, well, I'll calculate the tile index separately. So set tile index equals calculate the y offset. So I'm going to go, what did I say? Block y. Block is block index. Oh, and then, you know, plus I. Block x, block times 10. So that's how far down it is, and then that's how far across it is. And then I can go set game array tile index equals color. So I'll go back to what I had before. So I'm setting the color. Oh, now that needs to be draw a block. Okay, so that deletes the old position. That draws at the new position. So that still doesn't have any collision detection in it, but I'm hoping I can use that as a generic drawing function. Variable already defined code block because yeah, block type is a built-in Scorpion variable, so I'm gonna have to change that to block ID. Let's try that. Variable already defined. Okay, yeah, because that's another. Where is? Yeah, I'm gonna need to change this to bx and by. Oh, I need to update that. Yeah, so block X and block Y are built-in variables for, working at what block is on a tile, but that's not relevant here because this is a this doesn't use levels. Okay, so it was drawing it okay, it just did not. Okay, so I've got to. Yeah, I haven't calculated the player offset, so I need to go calculate the player offset. So set tile index plus equals tile index plus px, and then set tile index equals tile index plus py times 10. So we calculate the sub block offset, player offset. Okay, yeah, I mean that's it's where we were before, but now we've got a generic method for for drawing it, so we can extend that to draw any kind of the tetronomers. Just going to do this here. So by going block ID plus 2, it's going to be, say, draw the color of this block ID. We need a we need to check our left and right. We shouldn't allow it to go too far to the left or too far to the right, but whether it can go too far, further to the left or further to the right depends on whether the well, yeah, it's got to depend on whether they're in the array and also or whether they're in the sides, the walls, as well as whether they're against a running up against blocks. So we need a way to and testing left and right is a little bit different from testing down because we can move left and right regardless. Like if we go left or right into a wall or into a tile, it doesn't stop us from still moving down. But once we've hit something on the bottom, that is when it stops. So we need to handle these separately. can I have a variable word new px 0 and variable word new py equals 0. And I'm going to go new px equals px plus control 1x. Then I can do a I'll do a new handler, and I'm gonna call this check block dot code block 2. So this is gonna check for collisions. We'll copy and paste a lot of that. It's not, you know, perfect practice, but make do with it. So yeah, we need to calculate the x, the player x and the y. Well, yeah, so we need to calculate the x and the y. So variable word block col x 0, variable word block col y equals 0. So I go set block col x equals px plus bx block index plus I. Let me name this block. I'm gonna go, if we get down to here, we can move on. Oh, now that should be new. That should be the new PX. I'll go sub check block X. I'm gonna get rid of this, just comment out the stuff for now. I'll come back to it. I just want to check left and right is working. That's the important thing. So delete at the old position. And then we go set new position. So we go set px equals new px. Set py equals new py. And here we go, if block col x less than 0, go return. We'll go set new px equals px. Just make a note too far to the left. Be greater or equal to 10. It's too far to the right. Also need to add a check for already existing block. Oh, in fact, we can do that. Check for existing blocks. So I can go block set block col y, or block set tile index equals block col y times 10 plus col. Oh, except Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna always need to delete at the old position because I don't want the blocks to collide with themselves, if that makes sense. So we did, yeah, first thing, so we always delete at the old position, then we check the new position. And if I go back to here, so if I go if game array file index is greater than 1, this is a block that's already in the game field. That should also be new PY. I think it's probably made a few mistakes here. Oh, supposed to be just end. Yeah, so Doctor pointed out there's some problems with my syntax. The syntax is a little bit weird because it's end is sort of meant to be the end of any block, not just not just ifs, but also like whiles and for loops. Alexandra Blender is asking what language used. This is a custom language called CodeBlocks, which is it's designed specifically for Scorpion Engine, but it's sort of inspired by things like Basic and Scratch. It's meant to be just a very simple way to for anyone, whether it should be flexible enough for coders and simple enough for non-coders to be to be useful. Um, like that, I can just go with existing block. Okay, I'm just going to run that. I'm hoping I'll be able to move it to the left and right without Yep. Okay. So I've got it. That is that's working as expected. So I can't go off the sides. Yes, says Rediject says Scorpion supports Mega Drive, Amiga, and Neo Geo. In fact, I'm just going to give it a quick run on all of them. So I'm going to go to Mega Drive. Just going to check it works. Whoops. I changed my version of Blastem, and there are some things I need to clean out of the configuration. Okay, so that works. I might need to change the the color indexing, but it is running the same on Mega Drive. If I switch to Neo Geo, yeah, because I can't use black because that's sort of the Actually, I think I could just swap some of those colors around, but I can't use black because that's the background color. There we go. All right. So it works on all of them. If we go back to Amiga, let's I need to do the okay, so go new exposition is safe. So I'm gonna go set new py equals py. Yep. In Amiga it uses. Well, you've got different emulators. For Amiga, WinUAE sort of set up as a default. I do have support for FSUAE. For Mega Drive and Neo Geo, there's different emulators you can use instead. So I'm gonna go. Time ago, apply gravity. And I'm gonna need to go. I'm gonna make a copy of that. Check block Y, code block 2. And for the most part, that's going to be straight copy and paste to that one. Got a lot of redundant code here, which is not good practice, but that's okay. It's not too much of a problem. PY, so we don't care about too far to the left or right. We only care about the bottom. Oh, and we need a new variable, which is set block collision equal false. Yeah, clear that's a variable block collision. So if block col y is greater or equal to 20, I'll go return, and I'm going to go, yeah, so go hit bottom of the screen, so I'll go block collision equals true. And then collision with existing block. Set block collision equals true. I didn't spell that the same way. I left out the second I. Okay, so if we go back to here, and then if we do go sub check block Y, draw the color of this block ID, and then we need to go if block collision. Go spawn new block. So I'm just going to go set P Y equals 0. So that sets it back to the Y position. Oh, well, that sets it back to the top of the screen if we got a block collision. So hopefully that's enough for a non-variable block collision. Ah. Is that the way it's spelled? Is it? I should know how to spell collision. But yeah, okay, it is 2 I's. Let's try that again. Check block Y, line 4. Did I spell it wrong there again? Spelled it wrong in the declaration. Block Y, line 13. Oh, that's supposed to be set. And then we'll handle 31. What did I do at 31? Oh, because that's supposed to be just a comment. Okay, so it's not dropping. What did I do? Oh, okay. New Y position is safe. Okay, alright, so we've got dropping blocks that that seem to get stuck. So it's not letting me move left and right. That okay. Let's just check that this block collision is actually working. Yeah, I don't think that's the problem. Okay, so it is hitting the bottom okay. It's just it is just not going back to the top again. Oh, no, that was weird. It shouldn't have gone that far down. I think there might be a problem with... Oh, yeah, now I'm really breaking. I don't even know how I managed that. So there must be a bug with 20 rows down. Block hole Y greater or equal to 20. I have really messed it up somewhere. I think it's going down further than should be possible. Oh, okay, yeah, that's... I was supposed to do that so that it, resets the Y position back to what it was before. I think that's... Yeah, I'm hoping that's the problem in that because it was going too far into memory, it was starting to mess up the other arrays, which is why we had that weirdly shaped block that wasn't working right. Okay, so that's I mean that's working as expected, I guess. Yeah. Okay. No, we're getting there. Oh, no, that didn't work. What was the problem with that? It's like it's okay, so it works on this side, but not the other side? Or was it just that I fast forward through it for some reason? Okay. Okay, so there is a problem on the left side. but not the right side. Okay, so we've got a new PX. Oh, what? Is that a bug in the other one as well? Yeah, okay. Alright, that would explain it. Try that again. So let's okay, now that's working. Oh, well, actually, no, I didn't really give it a test, but okay, so that, yeah, okay. Well, I guess the next, so yeah, we've sort of got a working block game, but of course we don't have any support for, destroying rows. So that's that's the most important thing, is being able to delete the um oh, actually, I don't need to make that as a new code block. I can just put it in the existing. So make that weight 1. Okay, so I'm gonna go cause destroy row a cause. So we need to start with 19, or for actually I can yeah. So destroy row Y. Start that with hi Casinami. Thanks for the raid. Much appreciated. We are working on the first Tetris clone in Scorpion Engine. Hope things aren't too chilly down in Southland tonight. Oh, end. Let me just check that syntax is right. Oh, 1 degree. All right. Well, destroy row dot code block. So we need to do a couple of things. So I'll go sub destroy row, and that's going to have to go for oh, what is a declare variable here? So variable word row x 0, go for oh, and I think I've got a set block. I've got one, the block index I'll just reuse that block index. So set block index equals destroy row y times 10. And you go for row x equals 0 to 9. And you go if game array block index plus row x is less than 2. Go this block is not occupied, so we don't need to check the rest of it. And then I'll go return. Before I go any further, I'm going to go quit boom. So this is just... So in theory, if I've got a full row, if any of the rows are full, then it should... should quit the game. Destroy row. Where did I mess it up? Destroy row Y. Okay, got that around the wrong way. Okay, so that should work. Okay, if we get to here, we need to blow up each cell. Now I realize trying to work out what that block is for, but I realize that is the blowing up block, and I didn't put that in there, so I need to put that in there. So let's make that 72 wide. And now I think we've got 9 in there. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep. So we just want to repeat that again. Except this time I'm going to go set game array, set array equals 9. Okay, so that's going to make a it's going to turn it into a explosion, hopefully. It's not going to get rid of the explosion, which we'll need to do, but we can handle that separately. Yeah, so it's turned it into explodey blocks. I now I realise what mistake I made was I'm checking for. I don't need to check for the explodey blocks every frame. I only need to check it when it's you know, when we've got a block collision. Be a little bit more reliable. So hopefully when I do it this time... Oh, let me mess that one up. Hopefully when I do it this time it's not going to explode until the last... Right, there we go, okay. Okay, so I've got something to handle the explosion. I haven't got anything to clear the explosion, so I'll need to have... how am I going for time? Hour 45. Yeah, not so bad so far. Clear block explosion. And actually, I don't know that I need a code block for it. I'll see how I go. So I'm going to go set block index equals 10. Put block pointer at the end of the well. Just going to go if game array for destroy row y equals 19 to 0 step 1. Next. Go if, or in rather, and I just need to go if. Equals 9. This is a destroyed row, so I better make a note here. So we should put game over check if any blocks are at the top row. So that I better make a note to do. For I equals 0 to 9. Game array. Oh, why? Block index should be destroy row y times 10. Go if game array block index 9 array block index, oh, that should be set, that should be end. Game array block index -10, so that is grab the next pile up. So that should, for the row that's been destroyed. Oh, now, yeah. So that's going to move everything down, but we're going to want to do that for you know, every row above it. So move everything down. Inner equals destroy row to 1 step -1. So that should work for the loop. And then we'll need to recalculate the block index. Oh, that should be set. There's more logic that goes into a Tetris game than I thought there would be. But we're getting there. Move those in. Try running that. I'll just see if there's any errors, and if there are, I'll fix them. Level handler has redundant end conditions. Oh, so I've got. How did I do that? Where did I do that? Let's check. Why have I got too many? Because it can't pass this. So why not? What's wrong with that? Is it not like the comment at the end? Oh, it's supposed to be double equals because, you know, comparison. I'm just going to try putting a full block there. Whoa. Okay, that broke everything. So we saw the explosion, and then I think it broke here for some reason. So it must be going out of the array somewhere. Oh, yeah, I'm not, so there's a bug here that's supposed to be like that. But that not being there shouldn't have broken it. That shouldn't be out of bounds. Block index. I'll try running it again. If it does it again, I'll try taking out that line to see if it's that specific line, or maybe it's something that I've missed elsewhere. Okay, something is messing it up. Okay, now that is making it run really slow. So there's something weird going on in here. Am I... Maybe just double check. So this is... Okay, so 20 rows. Oh, this is embarrassing. What am I doing wrong here? Why is this running so slow when it gets to here? Wait a minute. Destroy row... So it starts at destroy row Y, which is what we expect. Goes to that. Step -1. Not using I outside of that. Let's simplify this a bit more. Try it again. Yeah, so it's making the game crawl to a halt. Maybe it just doesn't like that in a loop. Yeah, so it's not slowing it down now. Um, maybe it just doesn't like. I'll just declare a couple of temporary variables here. So variable temp1 equals 0. Variable temp2 equals 0. Ah, there's a word. I'm just going to set temp1 equals actually I can change this around. I can go set destroy row Y equals inner row. Just in case there's some sort of bug with a for loop with, you know, the -1 step. So I'm going to set it to destroy row y, and then I can go while destroy row inner y is greater than 0, and then I can just go set inner y equals 1. So inner loop from the top, or from the current row to the top. Okay, so that basically worked as expected. I don't know why the for loop wasn't working. Let me just try that again. So this time I'm gonna not like that. Okay. So that right, and then I slide that underneath. Yep. Okay. Well, I've got the block destroying logic working. I don't know why it didn't work with that other for loop arrangement. I might need to look into that. I'll see if I can get some sort of chain reaction going. I just need to think. I think, yeah. So if I so what if I make a gap like? Is it gonna fall? Oh yeah, it's not gonna fall all the way down, is it? No, no, because well, I think it's supposed to, isn't it? Like if I do that, it's supposed to fall all the way into that hole, I think, or not. No, no, it's not supposed to. That is actually working as expected. I'm gonna add a. Oh, what happened there? I'm gonna add a second frame skip because it's just a little bit clunky. Yeah, okay, that feels much easier to control. How long do we want to run the session for? So I think we can work on some of these other blocks. So um, we'll do the I block because that's quite easy. So mm, It's okay. So 400. Okay, so there must be okay. I'll go 0, 1, 2, 3. So that is just going to be flat sideways. Um, new block, and I'm just going to roll roll dice. Well, I'll go 2 because we've only got 2 set up. I'm going to go min side equals 0 into variable. So with 2 sides and the minimum side is 0, that's just going to be block ID 0 and 1. And I'll put it into there. And yeah, hopefully that will give me my sideways. Oh, no, I missed something up there. Oh, because, alright. So 16 is the offset for the I block. And wait a minute. Wait a minute. What did I messed that up. It's 1, 0, 3, 18, 19, 17, 18, 19. Okay, so it'll always give me that block to start with. Let's see if it'll give me the other one. Should have given it to me by now, unless I'm getting really unlucky with the dice roll. Okay, so well I got that. That wasn't quite right. So why is it only giving it to me? Block ID. Block ID times 16, that's right. I'm gonna make it so that it starts with our new block. Okay, so it's not going across for some reason. So oh, now that okay, that is a problem. So that needs to be Okay, let's try that again. Okay, yep, no, that works. But we need a rotated version. One, two, three, and these are going to be 0, 0. And then that would be 0, 1, 3. 20, 1. And we use a control up for control 1. So go else if control 1 y 1 y is equal to 0, and I'm just going to go block rotation 1. I just want to check that if I push that push the joystick up, that it switches it from that rotation to that rotation. That's all I want to check for now. Not quite. Just check that again. No, I've made a mistake with block rotation times 4 plus block ID times 16. And that's supposed to be in brackets. Yeah, okay, so that switched from one orientation to the other. Um, no, yeah, that went down. I need to go for I equals 0, 1, because there's 2 variants, and next, and then I just want to copy and paste. So I want I times 8. 1, and then I go if block rotation is less than 0. Oh, sorry, it's Well, I make that +1, and then I'll go, if it's greater than 3, I'll go set block rotation equals 0. Now, I don't think it actually rotates that way. I think it rotates from, or it's meant to rotate, like, from a, center position. So I'm gonna make some adjustments here. So I don't want it to check if if block pole y greater than 0. So this is just to allow it to go off the top of the screen without breaking anything. And I want that here as well. And then I probably want the draw block has the same thing. If tile index, if tile index greater than 0. So this is just going to be just to make it easier to rotate. I just want to make it so that's -1, 0, 1, 2, and then here we'll have that -1, 0, 1, 2. That should change the pivot point. Redijix, does Scorpion, while compiling, automatically change multiplication into a bit shift where applicable? It actually doesn't. It probably should. Oh. What I should do is I should put this... yeah, I think Tetris traditionally puts in the middle when it spawns, so I should put set p x equals 10, and then up here I'm going to go set that by default to 10, so that should give me my ones at the start. Oh, and I'm not actually checking to see if the rotation was like... no, why is that still px equals 10? It's supposed to be 10 as well. What am I missing? Why is it spawning off the side there? Have I got something... no, I don't know what I'm missing. It's for some reason it's not starting at the 10 position. I don't seem to be setting the px here. What happens if I just... put that down, and then the next one spawns. What have I done wrong? Because we got... So PX should be... I can run it in debug mode to work out what is actually setting that variable to something other than what we expect. Oh, that one. Is it one of these collision handlers? Double check these. Should be end. Should be greater or equal than 0. I don't think that would have been it. No, for some reason, setting doesn't like that being set to not 0 for some reason. Let's try debug mode again. Okay, so we've got px equals 10. Px equals 10. Oh, because it's only 10 wide. Should be 5 to be the middle of the screen. That should have been obvious. Hey, Amiga Kemi, welcome. We're working on the first Tetris clone for Scorpion Engine. Yep. Okay. So that That is working as we might expect. Should take out 2 rows. Yep. No, that is working. Yep. Well, I might just do one more block and then I'll call it quits for the night. I have been streaming this for 2.5 hours and it's getting a bit late. So I'm gonna do the T block. And I need to do these I need to do the 4 sides individually, I guess. So we need to start from 32, 33, 34, 35. Yeah, so the X will need to go from -1, 0, 0, 1. Mega Kami says, yeah, I prefer the T block over the L block. That's fair enough. I think that's it's a much more pliable block. So go T block upward. So left to right, and then only need one of these to be up. uh, 6, 37, 38, 39, 6, 37, 8, 9. And then 0, that could be the one that stands out, and then we want y -1, 0, 1. Downward, I think we can just reverse that, reverse the y on that. Should be enough. We want 40, 40, 41, 42, 3, 40, 41, 42, 3. And then left, we just want to reverse the X on that one. 4, 5, 6, 7, 4, 5, 6, 7. And just wanted that one, and hopefully that's going to work. Let's spawn that block to start with. So we always set that default block ID 2. Hello, Photon SCX. Yeah, okay, so that's looking like that block, and it's rotating as expected. The control system is a bit fiddly. I do need to rethink uh frame rate. I mean, it's working. It's just a little bit Oh, did I? I don't know that I made it so that it did I adjust the dice roll? Maybe I didn't adjust the dice roll. No. So we've got 3 blocks, so I should have a dice roll of 3. Yeah, so I've got the frame rate fairly slow because, well, because it needs to redraw the screen. But the problem is the controls don't quite feel right. Because I think the controls should be updating 50 frames a second, even though the the game itself might not be updating 50 frames a second. But yeah, it's got some of the blocks. It's we can play it. I can put that in there. I haven't got all of the blocks, but I don't know. I could leave that for the next I can leave that for the next Scorpion TV. So I've got, I think there are 7, and I've got 3 of them. But I can rotate them all. Yeah, I mean it's recognizably Tetris, even if the controls are a little bit weird. Photon ACX says which parts are dynamic as and not scripted. I mean it's pretty much all scripted. As far as the so it doesn't use any of Scorpion's built-in like collision detection or anything like that. It's basically using a like it uses a panel. So it would usually use panels for like scores and things like this, but with this new what grid element, instead of drawing a score, I can draw a grid of something, and so I'm drawing a grid of blocks. And so yeah, it's basically not using any of Scorpion's built-in goodness. Like it's not even using like tile maps or anything like that. It is just drawing straight to a panel. Thank you so much, Fromal Monkey. Well, so 2.5 hours in, I think it's a good time to call it wraps. I am pretty happy with how things are, though I do need to tidy it up a bit. Yeah. Let's see who is raidable. Who am I following that is live right now? Oh, Retro Demiurgi is playing the weird version of Jim Power again. So let's send everyone his way. But yeah, anyway, thanks everyone for joining, and hope you can join me next week.